The Fallout series has been the stage for countless Easter eggs, obscure homages, and sometimes even immersion-breaking pop culture references. But Tactics has a bizarre secret that stands out from the others. At the entrance of the third Brotherhood of Steel base, Bunker Gamma, there are several lockers that contain various low-level items. The locker by the mechanic is locked though, and requires a very high lockpicking skill to open, a skill much higher than most players will have at this section of the campaign. Inside there's an item called Strange Papers that has a unique model and a long string of garbled text. From what I've been able to gather, this text wasn't encoded in the Day 1 release, and these changes were only made by a patch, but I haven't been able to confirm this is true. Several guides that were written at release seem to support the idea that this was altered post-launch. Regardless, the translated text is still present in the game's GUI folder, and what follows is one of the strangest Easter eggs the series has ever seen. Developer correspondence on that time there was a mouse at Micro Forte studio. It reads, "The Great Mouse Debacle. Dear all, I saw a mouse. Where? There in the rec room. There in the rec room right there, etc, etc. His name is Malcolm, and although he is very cute, I am afraid he cannot stay, so we need to put some traps down. Also, please make sure no food is left out for him, particularly large pieces of cake. I'm not imagining this as Ed, Damien, and Ivan also saw him, albeit rather briefly. Tony. Let's get him. Jason. I'm not sure which is more worrying, the mouse in the kitchen, or that Tony needs reassurance that he's not seeing imaginary critters. Robin. I say we catch him alive and fatten him up for the next milestone feast. Gareth. Chicken. Jason. I almost stepped on him last week. Damo. Let's catch him and keep him as a pet. Failing that, I could use him as a friend to keep my pet rat company. Damo Jr. Leave the mouse alone. He won't hurt you. Parrish. I like to wear mice as hats. Ed. Let's make our next game about him. Malcolm the motherfucking mouse. Gareth. So that's who's been stinking up the loo and not turning the fan on. Of course, he can't reach the fan. Damo. Nor can he aim, apparently. Ed. Let's get the furry little fuck. Jason. We can always get a mouse-friendly trap rather than a snappy trap, although where to dump him when he's caught? Ow. Out the window. Splat. Just kidding. Damo. Simple. A combination mousetrap and catapult. Snap, spring, whoosh, thud. Ed. I take it that the thud is you whacking him out of bounds with your baseball bat. Jason. Shouldn't that be snap, spring, squeak, whoosh? Gareth. Maybe we could invest in a cat. Alistair. Down Parrish's trousers. Now that would be cruel. Tony. I just love the sexy scurry of a lady mouse. Leave the mouse alone. Leave all mice alone. My darling, I can't get enough of your love, baby. La 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 la. Parrish. No, it should be snap, spring, squeak, whoosh, ting, microwave done. Jason. Did you have a bad mouse experience during your childhood? Jan. Gee, that Xbox demo would have worked heaps better if they'd thrown a mouse into a room full of mouse traps already primed with other mice, setting off a chain reaction of snaps, squeaks, and springs. Ed. This is my one-line comment. Carl. Maybe we can convince Stuart to eat it? Ed. That'll take a lot of convincing. Stuart. You can do it. Jason. Or we could put it back where it belongs, plugged into the back of somebody's computer. Alistair. Hasn't anyone seen Stuart Little? He could be our ticket to fame and fortune. Kirky. In the sequel to Stuart Little, they're gonna have him infect the happy family with the plague. Ed. Has anyone ever seen both Parrish and the rat at the same time? Just wondering if there's some secret identity thingy going on. Carl. Maybe he's the little bastard moving everyone's stuff. Max. So it was the mouse that was sneaking smokes in the toilet? Seems like the poor thing is getting blamed for everything else. Damo Jr. Let's get him. Jason. I could use another mouse or two to help power my car. Gareth. We should cover the room with flour and see where his little tracks lead. Then douse the mongrel in petrol. Max. Nah, that's not funny. That's just a bit sick. Damo. Let's just cover the room in petrol and light it up now. Ed. Woohoo! An old-fashioned burnin'. Let me duck home and grab me roastin' trousers. Kirky. I'm beginning to see the start of the Stinky Meat Project Part 2, Winky Face, Alistair. Put his little mouse head on a big dirty pike as a warning to others. Lakin. Let's just all burn our pants. Max. You go first. Lakin. Let's get him. Jason. You all want to jump me now that I've burnt my pants, huh? Max. One of my friends in high school had a story about his father doing the mouse versus petrol thing when he was young. And with its last chance at revenge, the burning mouse ran into some very long, very dry grass, set the grass alight, and burned down the whole farm. Crops, machinery, house, and also the people who owned it. Demo. Haha, cool. Perish. See, vicious little mongrels, mice, burn down your house as soon as they look at you. They're dangerous. Arsonist, Satanist. They must be stopped before it's too late. It's us or them. Oh, and I'm always available for a pants burning. Name a time. Ed. Let's get him. Jason. Release your anger and complete the journey to the dark side. Gareth. Why don't we just get him, Max? That's not the mouse you were looking for. Move along, move along. Alistair. Let's get him. Jason. I don't think Jason needs any help releasing. Ed. Certainly not releasing so much as restraining. Lakin. Has anyone heard the one about the mouse and giraffe that met in a bar? Max. Yep. Ed. I think we should all try and get out of the office a little more. Parrish. Woot woot. Parrish said we can all go home. Al. Let's get him then. Jason. Let's have pants burning as a random encounter or even a full mission. Somebody keeps sneaking into the Brotherhood of Steel base and setting fire to people's pants. Gareth. There isn't really a mouse. I just made the whole thing up. Tony. There is now, damn it. Damo. Let's get Tony then? Jason. Blah blah blah. Carl. Dracula impressions? Really? Ed. Blah blah blah, dude. Keanu and Dracula. Gareth. If it was my mouse, I'd say like, get back in the kitchen and cook me some pie, biatch. Robin. You have a pie cooking mouse? Ed. Yeah, of course I do. Insert 3 random names to support self-reinforced delusions. Solid as well. Robin. If you don't mind, I'd like to borrow it for the night. Lorne. You need help. Ed. That's why I need the mouse. I feel he could add some valuable insights into my non-existent social life. Lorne. Let's just set up a big barbed wire cage, or even better, a dome, and have a sort of last man standing dealie. The winner gets to eat the mouse. Gareth. I'm in. Max. Are we fighting the mouse or each other? Ed. I assume the idea was to beat each other to a bloody pulp. Max. Sure, but I've always wanted to compete versus a rodent. I might actually have a chance of winning. Ed. Arg. Carl. I'm not imagining this as Ed, Damien, and Ivan also saw him, albeit rather briefly. I'd just like to categorically deny ever seeing a mouse. Tony is a loon. Ed. Catch me if you can. I've been crapping in your coffee for weeks. Har 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 har. The mouse. This is undoubtedly one of the strangest Easter eggs in the Fallout games, and it's still relatively unknown since Tactics is the black sheep of the post-nuclear family. This is such a cool artifact that really shows the development team's humor and personalities. That's all for this episode. Thank you so much for watching and have an awesome day.